Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone's $8.2 million rise, the new standard for female athletes in 2025. In 2025, the sports world did not merely witness another record shattered or another medal added to an already glittering resume. It witnessed a shift in gravity, a recalibration of what elite female athletes could command, not just in applause, but in actual dollars. At the center of that shift stood Sydney McLaughlin Levrone, calm as ever, composed as always, yet quietly making noise loud enough to echo across every boardroom in global sports. Her $8.2 million earnings in 2025 were more than a personal triumph. They became a cultural marker, a signal that women's sports had entered a new economic era, not by shouting for attention, but by earning it through excellence. This was not a viral moment. This was a structural breakthrough. 2. Built before the spotlight arrived. Long before the contracts, long before the cameras and the endorsement wars, Sydney McLaughlin Levrone was building something deeper. Control. Born into a family steeped in athletic discipline, she was never dazzled by early praise. As a teenager competing against grown professionals, she learned to exist inside pressure without becoming its prisoner. Every race, every interview, every setback became a brick in a foundation that would later support a multi-million-dollar empire. What made her different was not just speed, it was self-command. By the time the world truly noticed her, Sydney had already learned how to win quietly and sustainably. 3. Performance as a first currency. The cornerstone of Sydney's financial rise was simple, brutal, and undeniable dominance. In 2025, she didn't just win races, she owned them. Her performances in the 400-meter hurdles and flat 400 meters felt almost surgical. Precision over power, intelligence over chaos. Each stride seemed rehearsed by fate itself. For sponsors, performance is credibility, and Sydney's credibility was unshakable. She didn't fluctuate. She didn't fade under pressure. She didn't peak and disappear. She delivered consistency at the highest possible level, the rarest and most valuable currency in modern sports. For the $8.2 million breakdown, more than prize money. While traditional prize money remains modest in track and field, Sydney's earnings told a different story, one shaped by strategy, not scarcity. A. Endorsements that matched identity. The largest share of her $8.2 million came from endorsement partnerships, carefully chosen and meticulously aligned with her values. These weren't short-term deals built on hype. They were long-range investments by brands seeking credibility, trust, and global resonance. Sydney didn't sell products. She validated them. Her presence alone elevated brands into a higher tier of authenticity. B. Appearance fees and global events. In 2025, Sydney became a global invitee, not because she demanded attention, but because her presence commanded it. From elite sporting galas to leadership forums and international showcases, she was paid for what she represented: excellence without compromise. C. Bonuses and competitive incentives. Victories unlocked bonuses. Records multiplied them. Each flawless performance quietly added zeros to her bank account, not through spectacle, but through inevitability. V. Why brands trusted her with millions. In an age where athletes can gain and lose value in a single tweet, Sydney McLaughlin Levrone became a safe bet in an unstable market. Brands saw no scandals, no reckless behavior, no volatility. Instead, they saw discipline, humility, and control. She didn't chase controversy. She didn't manufacture drama. She didn't blur her message. She was reliability personified. For corporations investing millions, that reliability was priceless. 6. Social media without the noise. Sydney's digital presence in 2025 was a masterclass in restraint. She didn't overshare. She didn't posture. She didn't perform outrage. Her posts were deliberate, meaningful, and clean. Each one reinforced her brand rather than diluting it. Followers didn't feel like spectators. They felt like witnesses to something rare, an athlete who didn't need chaos to stay relevant. That restraint made her more valuable, not less. 7. the marriage of athletic and personal stability. Sydney's life off the track mirrored her discipline on it. Her marriage to NFL player Andre Levrone Jr. symbolized balance rather than distraction. Together, they embodied a modern athlete archetype, focused, grounded, and protected from the turbulence that derails so many careers. Brands didn't just invest in Sydney the runner. They invested in Sydney the constant. 8. Ranking among giants. In 2025, Sydney ranked among the top 20 highest paid female athletes globally, competing in earnings with stars from tennis, soccer, basketball, and golf, sports with vastly larger commercial ecosystems. Yet she achieved this in track and field, a discipline long dismissed as financially limited. Her rise didn't just elevate her. It challenged the economics of her entire sport. 9. Redefining the blueprint for female athletes. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone didn't rewrite the rules by rebelling against them. She rewrote them by outgrowing them. She showed that you don't need controversy to be visible. You don't need arrogance to be dominant. You don't need to sacrifice values to build wealth. Her success became a blueprint for the next generation, especially young women who had been told that excellence alone was no longer enough. Sydney proved it still is, if paired with vision. X. The cultural impact of $8.2 million. The number itself mattered, because numbers change conversations. $8.2 million forced sponsors, leagues, and executives to reevaluate how they value female athletes. It disrupted outdated assumptions. It reframed negotiations. It strengthened the bargaining power of women across sports. Sydney's earnings became leverage for others, even those she would never meet. 11. A legacy still accelerating. What made 2025 extraordinary wasn't that it felt like a peak. It felt like a beginning. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone wasn't burning fast. She was building slow. Every decision suggested longevity. Every move hinted at expansion beyond competition, into leadership, mentorship, and long-term influence. Her empire wasn't loud. It was inevitable. 12. Final stride, the new standard. Sydney McLaughlin Levrone's $8.2 million rise didn't just set a personal record. It established a new standard, one rooted in discipline, consistency, and authenticity. In 2025, she proved that the most powerful athletes don't need to scream for attention. They let excellence speak. And when it does, the world listens and pays. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.